Camille Saint-Saëns was born in Paris on October 9, 1835. Soon, his father, an official in the Ministry of the Interior, died of tuberculosis. So mostly, he was raised by his mother, Clemence, and his great-aunt. He started piano lessons around 2 and composed his first work at 3. Camille learned from private tutors. The drawback to his sheltered childhood was his extensive lack of social contact. At 10, he made his first public concert in Sally Pleyel. At 13, he attended the Paris Conservatory and learned organ and composition. His composition won the first prize in a competition organized by Saint-Saëns Society. Next year, his first symphony was premiered, to the astonishment of critics and famous composers at the time. After graduating the conservatory, he held church organist posts, including the Madeleine Church, an association that lasted for 20 years. Liszt, whom he met about this time and with whom he formed a friendship, described him as the finest organist in the world. He taught at the Niedermeyer School, where the composer Fauré was among his students. They became lifelong friends. In 1868, he became the recipient of the Légion d'honneur at 32. During the Franco-Prussian War, he served in the National Guard during the Siege of Paris. He co-founded the National Society of Music with the aim of promoting French music. Same year, he first traveled to England playing for Queen Victoria. His fertile association with England was long and illustrious. Next year, his opera, The Yellow Princess, influenced by the Japanese movement, was premiered. He had continued to live as a bachelor, sharing a 4th-floor flat with his mother. But at 40, he married 19-year-old Marie. They settled together with his mother, who opposed to their marriage. He composed the Mass Requiem, commissioned by his friend Albert Levin. Levin left a considerable fortune to the composer so that he could quit his organist job and concentrate on composing, and Levin died in 1877. The ironic tragedy of his Requiem is that just 9 days after the premiere, his eldest son died by falling from a window. His second son caught pneumonia and died about 6 weeks later. He blamed his wife and left her 3 years later. After the tragic events, he developed a fondness for Fauré's family and adored Fauré's sons. This sad period in his life, he produced some of his great works, including this Danse Macabre and his opera. Samson and Delilah, because of its biblical subject, couldn't perform in France. But with Liszt's help, the premiere was given at Weimar in 1877. In 1886, the Royal Philharmonic Society in UK commissioned his Third Symphony. It became the masterpiece and dedicated to Liszt, who died in that year. Same year, the Carnival of the Animals was composed for private entertainment for friends, and he refused to have publicly performed in his lifetime. The only piece he allowed to be performed was the Swan. It became the music to which Anna Pavlova danced the Dying Swan. His melody spread around the world. His beloved mother died in 1888. Her death triggered major breakdown. Next year, he sold his house and fled to Algeria, nomadic lifestyle that he maintained almost until his death. He experienced an especially triumphant concert tour when he visited the US in 1915. In his 80s, he practiced the piano 2 hours a day and still managed to travel the world, creating musical sketches of his trips. He made 179 trips to 27 countries. For holidays, he favored Algiers and Egypt. He was awarded French and British honors, as well as honorary doctorates from Oxford and Cambridge. He concluded his virtuoso career with a concert on August 6, 1921, at the Dieppe Casino. 4 months later, he died of pneumonia in Algeria at the age of 86 on December 16, 1921. In his lifetime, he remains attached to his dogs, his lonely days brightened by his beloved poodle, Delilah. He seemingly liked cross-dressing. When he was visiting Moscow, he and Tchaikovsky improvised a ballet wearing tutu. He expressed his artistic passions in words. In his book, Musical Memories, he wrote about his close friend. Henri Renoir was the most musical of all the painters whom I have known. After fighting in the siege of Paris, Renoir died and became a star. Saint-Saens loved watching the stars. He admitted that he wasn't a methodical observer, preferring simply to enjoy the beauty and serenity of heavens.